Welcome back. The White House and social media all lit up in rainbow colors on Friday. This image posted all over Facebook and Twitter. And a wide array of digital news outlets like BuzzFeed and Huffington Post and Fusion, many others, all added rainbows to their logos in the wake of the Supreme Court ruling. And this raises an important journalistic question. Did news outlets abandon their usual objectivity on this equal rights issue? And if so, is that defendable? Joining me now is Chris Geidner, one of the leading writers on the issue of marriage equality for years. He's now at BuzzFeed and focuses on these issues. Thanks for being here.
Morning, Brian.
The traffic was up on BuzzFeed 300% for LGBT-related content on Friday. A lot of that was thanks to your articles. You were at the Supreme Court, and what I wonder is, as a reporter who is gay and who is open about that and who is known for covering these stories, was it possible for you to be objective on this?
Yeah, I think that it's been something that I've been covering, as you said, for really almost more than a decade, since I started my blog back in 2003 around Lawrence v. Texas. This is something that, if anything, the fact that I'm gay has made me more critical of covering this story, because I am interested in knowing what the motivations are of people on every side of the issue, and that includes some real in-depth looks at what LGBT organizations are doing and being willing and able to look critically at sort of what their motives are at times.
You know, even asking the question I just asked can come across as offensive, and I'm aware of that. But because I've seen it raised time and time again, this is objectivity. I was curious, because BuzzFeed, as you know, has a position in favor of marriage equality. And I wonder if you think that's a more honest, transparent way to go about reporting the news.
I mean, our editorial position in support of marriage equality and in support of LGBT rights is not much different from the New York Times, the Washington Post. I mean, last night I retweeted somebody who had tweeted both of their front pages on Saturday morning. And in terms of branding and their decision about the coverage, I would say it was very similar to the coverage at BuzzFeed, although I'd say ours was better.
That's really interesting. I mean, you think about all of the debate that we've seen, all the conversation about this, about whether there's two equal sides. I think maybe what I hear you saying is there aren't two equal sides. There are two sides, but they shouldn't be equally balanced.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent time interviewing everybody who's been involved on the side opposing same-sex couples marriage rights. I sat down with Brian Brown, the head of the national organization, on the eve of the 2012 election, when they, for the first time, lost state ballot initiatives, and had the most extensive interview with him because he was aware of my work. He knew where I was coming from. Before I was at BuzzFeed, I was at Metro Weekly, the LGBT magazine in D.C., and my coverage was the same there, even though nobody doubted what sort of Metro Weekly's editorial position was.
The split between digital news outlets, younger outlets like BuzzFeed that put up the flag on Friday, and older outlets, more mainline outlets, it's a really interesting difference we see. I think part of it's about appealing to young people, and part of it's about reflecting where the country's going. But Chris, I appreciate you being here and sharing your perspective with us.
Thanks, Brian.